Hello, my name is Jeff Kinsberg, and I am the visionary behind JAKTOOL and host of JAKTALK. Today we have Cristy Richards, our president and CEO, and our MedTech lead, joining me. Cristy here is here to discuss with us our recent accreditation for ISO-13485, which allows us to expand our offerings to our MedTech community. Cristy, thank you for joining.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Hey. We pick on our roadmap of where we want to go as a company. We identified adding ISO 13485 accreditation to our quality management system to allow us to take the medical device products that we develop for our customers, to allow it to take it to an end state through, to the end state, right? To put in our customers' hands and use outside of a clinical or research setting.
Correct. Yes. ISO 13485 is a globally recognized certification that allows companies to bring their products to market or products for other companies to market. So it's a requirement that's generally accepted, that says that this company really stands up to the quality, to their quality system standards, and those standards are audited by a third party, and so they're well understood. So that by achieving that certification, you really have that understanding with any clients or customers that that you've done your homework and that you're able to produce and manufacture under those conditions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the reasons why, you're right, so we've historically been focused on prototype development, and we talk about the technology transition in the valley of death from engineering to production, and that transition often trips up a lot of the programs as they scale. And by JAKTOOL having this accreditation, it allows us to take those early embryonic innovative ideas through the engineering life cycle, through the development process, and ultimately, if requested by our customers, support end-use items.
Yes,
so
correct.
That helps de-risk.
Mm-hmm.
That helps de-risk, the customer's product development and product launch journey.
Right, and it gives them the confidence that we are the appropriate development partner, that we will help take them from their ideas all the way to, the OR or to the consumer shelf, mm-hmm. Whatever is required for that product.
Right. So what steps did the team take to achieve this?
It really was a collaborative effort throughout our operations team. So as you may have introduced before, Caitlin Neuroladakis, she's our operations manager. She was the leader of this project. She is essentially the owner of our current quality system. So we have previously been certified to ISO 9001, 2015, and she kind of laid out the requirements of 13485 compared to 9001, did kind of that gap analysis, and then worked with the team to really fill in those gaps, right, to identify the action plan to get us from our existing quality system, which we were very dedicated to maintaining and working within throughout all levels of the organization to really implementing the 13485. So that meant additional focus on documentation through the design process, as well as we'll say a reaffirmation of the impact and importance of risk analysis and following that through the design process to really ensure that the product that is the output of the design effort meets those user needs.
We've talked about the significance of this certification, and it's not unique in that any company in the healthcare space that's delivering end-use products has it, right? But it is a big lift for a small business, especially in the development space, to mature a quality management system to support this. I guess why should, being devil's advocate, why should our customers care?
If it's aligned with our customers' goals, right? If our customer has a goal of selling or developing a finished medical device product, then they need to partner with an organization that is certified to that 13485. Mm-hmm. So we will help them get to the finish line, or that is a requirement to get to the finish line.
Mm-hmm. And I know you touched on some of the key requirements, some of the additions to the 9001 certification that we have, but could you go over what those big gaps were, or the gaps that come to the top of your head that Caitlin was tracking that we needed to complete?
I think really the biggest gaps were the formal documentation of the design process. So really documenting in a standardized way the user needs and how they translate into the design inputs, how we use those inputs to define what the outputs will become, and then follow up with the appropriate verifications. So saying, do our outputs meet our inputs, and validations. So do those outputs actually solve what those original user needs were?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I guess back to the so what comment, right? So what means something when it saves somebody time and money, and it gets products to market faster, saving lives, right? So what are some of the areas that I think could help a company expedite their product to market by working with a singular development production shop? How do you see having this accreditation helps customers get to market faster?
By following the procedures and processes laid out in 13485, we will ensure that those user needs are met, so that perhaps we can help cut down on some of those design iterations and cycles, because it is always kind of a forefront of thought of built into the process. Risk analysis is also built into the process, which helps to identify and mitigate challenges that the either might be an outcome of the manufacturing process that's being used to make the device, or that might be seen by the end user as a result of something that may have been overlooked during design. So by implementing risk analysis throughout the process on both the design side and the manufacturing side, we can help mitigate and close the loop on some potential failures that may occur down the road. So it's kind of the failure avoidance would help the customers, certainly. De-risking, right? And then putting in place all the appropriate quality steps, for manufacturing and for product release that can also assist the customer in their regulatory approval process, because the FDA is interested in product quality, product safety, and if we can help them document that we are producing a safe and quality product, then it'll make their case with the regulatory authorities that much easier and more efficient.
Mm-hmm. What I think is interesting is a lot of times when any industry, so all industries have all, we'll say critical products are highly regulated no matter what industry it's in, right? Medical, space, aerospace, defense. And I think it's interesting that when people often come up with ideas, even when they're in the industry, for example, we've got several discussions with people in oral care from certain local research universities. That doesn't necessarily give you the background to know the steps to getting your idea to done and also regulatory approved. So I guess that this helps us educate our customers, right? To kind of forecast what are going to be the hurdles and how we can help them streamline and move forward. So we do support those other critical industries that are regulated, and it is a lot of work, right? There's a lot of operating procedures and a lot of documents floating around, approved documents, and what was the impact to operations here? What was the impact to the business as a whole? Did it change the way that we operate this certification?
I think it helped us identify some best practices that we can apply to all projects, and then we kind of took a step back and tried to evaluate where we needed to apply the full standard as opposed to just those practices that best suit the project. So we don't want to, of course, we don't want to overburden projects that don't require certain levels of documentation, but we do want to add value and add kind of that de-risk effect to all of our products and projects where we see it to be an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess bringing the advantage to our customer, right? For some of the orthopedic projects that are in process and some of the rehabilitation products that are in process, they're all pre-market, still in the development stage, but they're proven, high fidelity prototypes that are being validated right now and show efficacy. So I guess now that assuming all the proper design controls are in place behind all of those projects, we can now assist our customers in taking those items through, should they wish, for the regulatory approval process and continue to produce them.
Correct. And fortunately, we have a standard of. We've always had a standard of documenting our projects. So this is more about organizing it in a way that the regulatory agencies will be looking to validate, should they wish to go through that process. So that is now a service we can provide those customers, even with the ongoing projects, that we can compile the documentation such that they can take it forward to a regulating body and look for approval. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. And, we talk about a culture of continuous improvement. What are other ongoing initiatives that are occurring that you're tracking to help continue to improve our quality management system?
Well, within operations, we have a register of projects, initiatives, observations, opportunities for improvement that are really collected by the team at large. So anyone can add to this register, which we review on a regular basis and use as food for our quarterly goals and rocks and whatnot. So at any moment, different members of the organization are kind of working on these opportunities. Some are as simple as organizing respective work areas, and others are a little more broadly focused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome in the sense that we're relying on the team internally and our trusted network that has access to the facility to look at the processes, to look at the day-to-day activities, and to have that register of opportunities available for anyone on the team who wants to take the initiative to manage that project and lead it forward. That seems just like there's unlimited potential for improvement, which is pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. And really, that's where the culture of continuous improvement comes in, because it really is a culture and something that we want to reinforce for the whole team to be like-minded in that skill set and thought set.
I guess last question is future plans. Do you have, or are you tracking any future quality management registrations or initiatives that are in the near term, or it's all future planning, areas of expansion of future growth for the quality management system?
I would say right now it's continuing to work within the 13485 and especially as we take more projects through that process, we will have the opportunity to practice those procedures and continue to improve and make them more robust. And going forward, I would say I think one of the things that makes us unique and agile is our ability to work with and grow with our customers. So, we are, so part of this is kind of the willingness to work with our customers should additional quality system requirements come up. We've always kind of kept it on the back burner that if any of our aerospace or defense customers needed the, AS 9100, that is something that could be on our radar.
Now that you said that, the phone will ring.
You're not going. I won't knock on wood, because I think that's a good problem to have. And I know that our team is up for the challenge.
Cristy, it's been 9 or 10 years since we've had the first accreditation of ISO 9001. That when you joined, 10 years, when you joined full time 10 years ago, that was the first major, quality management initiative that you spearheaded. And I think it really speaks volumes to, I guess, the building out of the team. To Caitlin, kudos to Caitlin's, where she took us through it, this time with a lot of success, a lot of really positive feedback from the auditors as
Correct.
to the maturity of what they saw, and I think that really speaks to your business and to the culture that you've built and the processes that you've put in place. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Everyone, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us on this episode of JAKTALK. Please find the buttons below and like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn. And until next time, thank you very much. Bye.